University anthem. Thank you so much for observing the national as well as the university anthem. The chairman of this occasion, the Vice Chancellor of Northwest University, Kamano, Professor Motorati Kurawa, Sir, Utah Commissioner would like to invite Northwest University Kano. National Shire please open this gathering with a prayer.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم اجعل اجتماعنا هذا اجتماعا مرحوما ولا تفرقنا بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل فينا ولا منا ولا معنا شقيا ولا محروما صلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم تسليما سبحان ربك رب العزه عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nasser, for opening the gathering with a prayer. With the permission of the chairman of this great occasion, I would like to invite the great partner of Education and Technology, Dr. Samira, please, to the high table. The Dean of Higher Education, Dr. Dr. Muhammad Al-Kasai, who is unavoidably absent, whatever will be represented by Dr. Hafsat Sari Chindo, please, Dr. Chindo, please, to the high table. The Vice Chancellor, University Kano, Mutarati Kura. The chairman, professorial inaugural meeting, lecture, Professor Musa Mokhtar Ibrahim, may I please invite you to the high table? Professor Mansour, please to the high table. Professor Ali Ibrahim Naibi, please to the high table. Vice Chancellor, Northwest University Kano, Professor Mutarati Kurawa, Dean University Librarian Dr. Karimati Isa Mesambo, the Master of Northwest University Kano, Malan Salman Muhammad Kibia, the Dean Faculty of Education, Dr. Dauda Muhammad Yakasai, who is ably represented by Dr. Hafsat Sani Chindo, the Head Department of Education and Technology, Dr. Samira Muhammad, the former Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor Bakar Salisu Garba, The Chairman, Professorial Inaugural Lecturer, Professor Mansur Mukhtar Ibrahim, Professor Ali Ibrahim Naibi, the Honorable Professor Peter Ayula Adilani, Deans of various faculties present in this great gathering, aides of various departments present in this great gathering, distinguished invited guests, members of the press, and our colleagues, dear students, you are all warmly welcome to the second professorial inaugural lecture of this great institution. Today's lecture is centered on the most relevant theme: what has the digital divide reality got to do across continent in higher education environment? This theme reminds us that while technology has opened doors to limitless opportunities, it has also created gaps that affect access, equity, and quality in higher education globally. It is therefore a conversation that touches us all: academics, policymakers, students, and society at large. We are privileged to have as the inaugural Professor Peter Ayula Adilani, as an accomplished scholar, a professor of educational technology, who will share his depth insights on this critical subject. We are once again welcome everyone present and invite you to engage fully as we celebrate scholarship and reflect on the future of higher education. Without more ado, the next item on the agenda is opening up proceedings by the chairman of this great occasion, who happens to be vice chancellor of this great occasion of this great university, Professor Mukhtar Atikurawa. Without more time, I will have to invite him to the podium for the opening proceedings.
Chairman, President, Provost, Political Science, Deans, Directors, Head of Department of family and friends of our lecturer, distinguished invited guests, other members of the university community, the inaugural lecturer, Professor Peter Ayula Adilani, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I'm pleased to welcome you all to the second professorial inaugural lecture at our prestigious Center of Learning and Northwest University campus. The title of this lecture, What has the digital divide reality got to do across continents in higher education, is to be presented by one of us, Professor Peter Ayula Adilani, of the Department of Education and Technology, of the Faculty of Education. This lecture is the second of its kind in the 13-year history of this university and marks yet another achievement in my 5 years tenure as a third Vice Chancellor of this university. The professorial lecture is often a simple academic event where newly appointed professors have an opportunity to present an intellectual paper within chosen areas of specialization to mark the attainment of this executive position. It is a forum where the university committee listens to the lecturer, a lecture presentation, and learn from the expertise of the professor. There shall be no question and answer session, no comment, and no criticism. And therefore, other distinguished here present. This is the norm of the professor remember the lecture and to observe safe etiquette judgment. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at the moment, North University has more than 20 professors full-time or contract basis, as compared to only 5 when I assumed duty in 2020. It is therefore imperative for us to celebrate this achievement with more inaugural lecture presentation. I am happy to mention that very soon the university will celebrate the promotion of more academic staff to the professorial cadre, and I pray the trend will be maintained. Ladies and gentlemen, it's worthy to inform this congregation that the university has transformed in a very, very way and has registered many monumental achievements since my appointment in 2020. This includes but not limited to the following: doubling the number of graduate students from 5 to 10, the establishment of Faculty of Law, Faculty of Computing, Faculty of Basic Clinical Sciences, Faculty of Clinical Sciences, and the Faculty of Allied Sciences. I'm happy to inform you today that the 11th faculty by the Faculty of Information and Media Studies is in the pipeline. Additionally, 25 additional undergraduate programs were mounted, and all the 55 programs run by the institutions are fully accredited by the National University Commission. The period also witnessed the establishment of postgraduate schools with 52 postgraduate programs running through PhD, Masters, and PhD in different fields and levels. We have equally secured full accreditation for our MBS program for the medical and dental course of Nigeria. Furthermore, the university has secured approval from the National University Commission for the commencement of part-time degree in 8 different programs. The university has also secured from the Central Bank of Nigeria the construction of student hostels. We have facilitated the continuation of the entire project the focus on science and humanities in our main campus. The university has also secured an approval from the Central Bank of Nigeria for the establishment of a university-based interest-free microfinance bank, which is the first of its kind in the country. The university has also created 10 new directorates to facilitate the system working in the system so that efficiency will be enhanced. The Director of Quality Assurance, Operations, Funds and Initiatives, Director of Research, Innovation and Development, Director of Consulting Science and Investment, Director of Procurement, Director of Administration Human Resources, Director of Examination and Admission Records, Director of Finance and Treasury, Director of Support, and Director of Maintenance are all against efficiency and the interest of our country. Furthermore, the university also established the following centers with a center of excellence to enhance teaching and learning and research. One, the Center for Research and Studies, the Center for Leadership and Good Governance, the Center for Future Intelligence and Robotics, Center for Research and Advisory, system focus on artificial children, and the Center for Gender Studies and Family Development. The university further established collaboration with Near East University in Cyprus, the Russian University in Jordan, and has been listed a full member of the Australia University Network in the United Kingdom. I'm happy to inform this government that all academic programs offered in this university have full application status, leading to the university being ranked first by the National University Commission during one intervention investigation. Therefore, proudly consider University as first and moving forward. All that is mentioned and other too numerous to mention here are the result of a collaborative teamwork of the members of academic, non-teaching, and other supporting staff of the university. We therefore use this opportunity to thank the entire university community for the role they played in making the European University what it is today. Today's lecture marks yet another milestone in the history of the university, as we listen to Professor Peter Adelabi present a lecture on the effect of digital divide reality in higher education environment across the country. While congratulating Professor Peter, I want to ask other professors in the university to double their efforts in presenting their inaugural lectures and for the training and mentoring of our younger colleagues. We will also embark on a journey of converting our society into viable economic ventures and not just for academic consideration or line items in journals and conference programs. I wish audience present listening and self-learning about the effective information. Thank you.
Thank you, the Vice Chancellor of the West University Kano, for this precise welcome address. The next item on the agenda is the introduction and inaugurates a pre-biography with the Dean of Education, Dr. Dauda Muhammad Hussain, who is honorably absent but ably represented by Dr. Hafsat Sani Chindo. With the permission of the Chairman of the Education, sir, I would like to invite Dr. Hafsat Sani Chindo to please come forward to read the citation of Professor Peter Adelabi.
Vice Chancellor, University Kano, Chairman of the inaugural lecture, Principal Officers, Deans and Directors, all protocols are duly observed. The Vice Chancellor, permit me to read the citations of the inaugural, in person of Professor Al-shAahEd. Professor Peter Al-shAahEd was born on 13th November 1966 in Al-shAah, Osun State, Nigeria. His parents were late James Abiodun Adelabi, who was a civil servant, and defunct Ruth Olubisi Adelabi, a retired school headmistress. From Adelabi had his primary education and completed secondary education at Loyola College, Ibadan in 1982. He proceeded to the Polytechnic Ibadan for his advanced level program 6-4 and left in 1985. From Al-shAahEd gained admission into Ogun State University, now Olabisi Onabanjo, in 1986. He graduated with a BSc in Political Science in 1989. Between 1990 and 1998, he was at the University of Ibadan, where he graduated with MA in Educational Technology with a PhD grade in 1991 and proceeded for his PhD in Educational Technology in the same year. He was awarded a Doctor of Philosophy degree in Educational Technology, specializing in computer-assisted instruction in 1998. Prof. Adelabi started his academic career as a lecturer, grade 3, at Federal College of Education Technical Apoka, Yaba, Lagos in 1992. In 1995, he joined the service of the University of Lagos as Lecturer 1 before he resigned his appointment in 2009 and relocated to the United Kingdom on a highly skilled migrant visa. When he was employed as a visiting lecturer at Leeds City College, Leeds, United Kingdom, he also joined the service of Romford College, Essex, United Kingdom as a lecturer in the Department of E-Learning. In 2014, he relocated to Nigeria and was offered an appointment as a senior lecturer in educational technology at Northwest University, Kano. In 2014, he was promoted to the rank of associate professor and full professor effective from 1st January 2022. He has held various positions at the departmental, faculty, and university level. He was a cohort advisor in the Department of Curriculum Studies, UNILAB, from 1995 to 2009. He also served as Departmental Examination Officer, Science and Technology Education, UNILAB 2007-2008. He served as Coordinator, Center for Educational Technology, UNILAB from 2005 to 2007. He was a Director of General Studies Program, Northwest University, Kano, from January 2015 to October 2018. Head of Department, Science and Technical Education, from July 2019 to December 2021. He has served in various committees as member and chairman at various levels. He was a member, UNILAB Junior Staff Appointment and Promotion Committee, 2007 to 2009. Member, UNILAB Staff School Board of Governors, 2007 to 2009. Member, University Ceremonies Committee, 2007 to 2008. Member, UNILAB Postgraduate School Board of Study, 2004 to 2008. Member, UNILAB Senate, 2004 to 2008, called widely. UNILAB El-Tanemimo, 2005 to 2009. Member, Development of PhD courses in Educational Technology, 2002. Member, University Anthem Committee, 2018. Member, Committee of Deans and Directors, 2015 to 2018. Chairman, Quality Assurance Committee, Department of Science and Technical Education, 2021. Chairman, Faculty of Education Accreditation Committee, 2019. Chairman, Quality Assurance Committee, Department of Curriculum and Instruction, 2023 to date. As a researcher, he was a two-time principal investigator with state-sponsored IVR projects. He was a visiting lecturer at Umar Musa Adwa University, Katsina, from 2017 to 2020. Professor Adelaide has successfully supervised 3 PhD dissertations, 42 M.Ed theses, and about 230 undergraduate projects. Some of his supervisees are currently professors in universities in both Nigeria and in diaspora. He has recently authored 3 textbooks and co-authored 4 as well. Prof. Adelaide has 43 publications in peer review, local and international journals to his credit. He has attended and delivered papers at conferences in US and UK, Ghana, Botswana, among others. Prof. Adelaide is an editorial board member of some local and international journals. Among them are Northwest University Journal of Educational Studies and Journal of Media, Culture and Communication. He is an active member of some professional bodies, such as Educational Media and Technology Association of Nigeria, formerly Nigerian Association for Educational Media and Technology, and served as National Assistant Secretary from 2003 to 2006, National Vice President 2006 to 2009, Association for Educational Communication and Technology, US and Institute for Learning, UK. Peter Prof. Adelaide is a member and served as chairman of the NUC accreditation team from 2023 to date. He is married to Adeniki Adelaide and blessed with children. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Al-shAahEd, for introducing the elaborate. The next item on the agenda is the proper lecture. Vice Chancellor, sir, highly weighted, highly anticipated, second university professional elaborate lecture is here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor to introduce our elaborate, Professor Peter Adelaide, Professor of Educational Technology, who will be delivering this called Professor Elaborate lecture of this great institution. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you Professor Peter Aida Adelari.
Vice Chancellor, not the Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Teacher, the Dean of the Institution, represented by the Deputy Dean of the Outer the Registrar, the Treasurer, the Bossa, the President, family members, colleagues. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I want to welcome you to this my inaugural lecture. The topic for us is what are physical analytics going to do at what point in the education environment. So before we can talk, I want to first of all say that this is second inaugural lecture in the university. I want to thank all my students for today because I've been looking forward to this day in the last 8 years for God to give me. As the glory of God, I want to say that I am the first full-time professor in faculty of education. In addition, I want to say that this particular lecture is being delivered on behalf of my faculty and also on behalf of the department. So because of that, I want to appreciate the Vice Chancellor for being the platform to present my inaugural lecture. Thank you so much. As stated earlier on, our topic is what are digital divine reality going to do across continents in education environment? This is the question. I always like asking questions. We have a right answer. And we're here today to listen to answers related to those questions. Why? Because there are so many areas to stand before. But the question we ask is why this topic is chosen based on my experience when I got elected to in 2009. Digital divide reality was one of the challenges that I encountered when I got to the teaching environment in the United Kingdom. When I got there, I found that the African countries, including Nigeria, are far behind what's actually happening in the developed countries or in Western countries. And when I got to the Brazil, I saw myself in different environments entirely. The same experience I was having was what the other colleagues who came from Ghana, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, to join the academic sector of Western world. This is because the environment happens to be new, challenging some of us, and we're not finding it easy, coping with technical devices and post this position. So I now made up my mind that anytime I go to the development of present my doctoral lecture, I'm going to examine the topic of digital divide because there's a need for us to catch up with the rest of the world. And that's why I decided to choose that topic. Why digital technology? It is God's design that I'm going to do in this week. I never planned to be a digital technology. Right from time, what was on my mind was to be a lawyer. So, but after attempting jam 4 times, first time I failed. I did not give up. Second time, same thing. Third time, same thing. And then discovered that I'm getting old. So I said, instead of wasting my time for field law, which I know I'm not going to get admission for, not giving anything in the university. They now gave me education for 2 science, which was against my will. But I have no option that will take that to science education. For not that plans to education at all. I'm sure nobody else wants to be a teacher. Most of us that are teachers will find ourselves here due to particular circumstances. Most of us want to study medicine, architecture, law, engineering, education of the field. So I now find myself in education based on circumstances at that moment. When I was in level 300, one of the courses that we are supposed to offer is audiovisual education, which is now educational technology, and the compulsory course. With reference to that course, the lecturer teacher that time was Mr. Lee, now a professor. This course was very exciting, very interesting, and practical in nature. And I told myself, and I think it's a good area to specialize in. And right at the end, I wrote my math study in 1988 when I was in elementary. When I finished the youth service, I said to go back to university. This time I got from university. On getting the application form, by 1990, I was offered admission for L-Med Educational Technology. And by 1991, with the glory of God, I obtained L-Med Educational Technology. Months after obtaining my L-Med certificate, I proceeded straight to PhD level. And with the glory of God, by 1998, August 1998, I was awarded a lot of lessons degree in Educational Technology. Mr. Vice Chancellor, we are going to have these lectures in two parts. The first part, we will examine briefly the concepts, the issues, and contents on that divide. That will just expose to us what that divide is all about. But the second part, I'm going to be presenting some of my research works that I've done, either as an individual or my colleagues, some personal experiences that I've encountered, and also some challenges. And I'm focusing on two major countries, Nigeria and United Kingdom. But on most occasions, I've been referring to Nigeria as developing country and United Kingdom as Western world. As an Asian technologist, I need to let us know what this is all about and what it is not. At the moment, there was, there still is a misconception concerning what this discipline is all about. People misconceive technology to different things entirely. So we are going to look at what technology is not before we proceed to what it is. A lot of researchers, including some of my friends who said that other lectures some months ago, have worked on this field. First of all, educational technology is not technology education. Up to now, people are still misconceiving educational technology education, and that is a misconception. Let me tell you a practical experience on this misconception. In the year 1995, I was offered employment as an assistant lecturer in Pastor Board. I got there December 1995. Around April 1996, two members of the came to meet me. They were in the technology education. They said that I was not a doctor. Mr. Gajirabi, I said we have an application for you. We are going to organize a program or a lecture for incoming students on problems and post-technology education in Nigeria. I said I very love it. But I said, SARS, I think I come to the wrong office. They said, no, I don't come to the wrong office. I said, I come to the wrong office. They said, no. They said, people said, gave us your name as an expert in technology education. I now have to give them an insight into what technology education is. That's not the same with that technology. But after convincing them, they refused to be convinced. And I now said, are you going to pay me? They said, yes, you are paying your cost. I said, no, why are they? They now said that why you want to come is that the person you actually wanted to invite denied the invitation because he was busy. I said, okay, let me have the presentation. They gave me the topic. I looked at it. I said, well, I'm going to try my best. But on getting there, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I think I get the level of the because it was malaria. But I took up the offer because something is involved. So that was a practical experience of discussion of what technology, of technology. People discuss the data as technology education. Also, people misconceive technology to So same as computer education. Computer education is not an aspect of what we do in technology, it's not an aspect of it. People also consider to be same as distance education. Distance education is also an aspect of particular technology. And also people will be same as original education. All these are what is conception, which is not same as particular technology. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I need to say that this misconception has gone even beyond the universal environment. It has even gone to the level that the NEC is misconceiving of what that technology to the professors of computer science education. When I became the professor in 2022, I tried to register my name in the NEC so that at least they will be giving me some contracts or some consulting services related to technology. You won't believe it, I log into the portal, I could not find technology there. So I now called my colleagues who gave us there to go to let them know what I'm experiencing. They said, Peter, don't stress yourself. Don't go and register for computer science education. They are not belong to. And that was that saying for computer science education. Because then you don't recognize professional technology. If you look at the LC benchmark in 2022, there was 60 marks. In 60 marks, the NEC tried to review some courses and also include some courses. In the 60 marks, all other courses were stated there as courses. Adult education, philosophy of education, curriculum, etc. But educational technology was considered this. In other words, that means that NEC does not recognize educational technology as part of the conception. Because to the NEC, educational technology as computer science education. This is a general misconception. So those of us that are professors, we now have to consult and write to NEC before they now decide to include that technology at the tail end or at the back of as an addendum into the NEC NCCC mass. That's the misconception. And therefore, those are the questions affecting us as well. After looking at what that technology does, let us look at what that technology is. And that technology is the concept and the field of socialization. That's why we are specialists. In addition, it's still development of e-learning, e-learning question and research. In that technology we are concerned with e-learning activities. How can learn independently? How can learn on their own and we make learning very interesting? And we also conduct research in all those areas. In addition, I started to question. When I was telling you why I developed this course in I mentioned that was from having some practical activities that was making us come innovative and creative. That was what I developed the course, and that is practical. And that technology front is a dynamic discipline. It keeps on changing. It's not static. As that is changing, it's also changing with it. And that's why at the moment AI, which is something that we all used to, is in vogue, and most of us that technology at the moment we are specializing in AI. Because we need to change as things change. And finally, with reference to discipline, it's a concept. It's a concept that dominates the life of men and education. If you look at this particular figure of child from technology, you can see that technology has two main branches. We have technology of so that's what technology is about. Use of devices, equipment, and materials to make teaching learning very easy, so as to make learning more innovative and creative to the students. So that's what that technology is all about. Mr. Vice Chancellor, the very first we need to know is digital device. That is called digital device. If you look at the information on the screen, you can see over there two types of schools. Schools with access to ICT, schools with no access to ICT. That's a digital device. A school or group of schools with ICT, those who have ICT, that's digital device. Digital device is talking about gap between regions, between nations, between demographics, or those that have access to ICT and those that do not. So, digital device talking about gap with people that have to share skills and knowledge, interpretation of technology to teach and learn, and those that do not have access to it. So, in digital device, we are talking about gap between different societies, gap between schools and gaps between industrialized and developing nations. In this particular lecture, we are going to look at the gaps in the use of internet and computers as it affects the nation generally, but basically we are focused on the industrialized societies, which are the Western world and developing countries. Apart from that, we can look at that device from the perspective of single nation states. At times, we look at it from the perspective of men, women, urban, rural, rich and poor, old and young. If you look at old and young, we see that that divide as well. For those that are very young, you see that their own digital literacy level is very high. We call those ones digital literacy. Whereas, in the case of old men, in their own case, most of them are not computer literate. We call those ones digital immigrants. The man of 60, you do a professor of 70, you give him a tablet, you say, sorry, you just teach what to do, and talk very frustrated after some time. That's how digital divide. Related to digital divide digital learning. Mr. Vice Chancellor, we need to notice that digital learning is a practice of learning using technologies in an effective way. Our focus is on using technology in Nigeria and in other countries. Epileptic power supply is one of the things that makes people concentrate in digital learning. Because by the time you log on to your laptop, you want to key in and maybe study a particular topic online. You will not get power to charge your mobile phone laptop concentrated. Or on the other hand, you are trying to do some things on the mobile phone or on your laptop and the thing is not possible for system. So digital device or digital learning works best where we have infrastructure that are working available. Digital learning is very key in what we do. Now let's go to global digital device. We have three types of digital device. The first one is global one, which goes across all the parts of the world. The second one we are going to look at is digital divide in Africa. And last one, digital divide in Nigeria. With reference to the world, with the illustration that we have on the back points, we can see there the number of populations of people that are not connected to the internet as at the end of 2023. And over there we have West Africa as part of this. Then secondly, a lot of us, we have different networks that are using on the internet. For example, they use their MCF for internet, their digital divide. With reference to Nigeria, we can see the information there. About 36.7 million on social media, constituting the of the population. About 4.9 million people are on Facebook in Nigeria. Mr. Vice Chancellor, at this period, I want to delve into my contributions on research studies on internet. Between 2009 and 8, I've conducted several researches related to digital divide. Before that time, I was working on digital devices as it affects teaching and learning in Nigerian schools only, primary, secondary, and tertiary. But after 2009, when I graduated, I set to focus on comparing digital realities application in the Western world with that of the African country. That's part of the journey. In 2007, when I was still in Iran, some marketers, they came to market with a smartphone, and that was my first time seeing smartphone in life. They displayed and the smartphone to us, and all of us became interested. At that time, did not come again because the faculty was not able to procure that smartphone from that particular company. So in 2009, when I got to this city college, residential, I was now compelled to use this smartphone. And one thing I can remember there is that nobody will teach you anything. You have to teach yourself. Nobody will tell you, sir, do this. No. You have to do things by yourself. So when I got to the class, you will not believe it, I now experience digital divide reality for the second time. This was because I was seeing the smartboard, but I was not conversant with the utilization. Eventually, after about 30 minutes, with the interactive smart board, I had to call on the students to help me out, which they did. I was now saying, Peter, this thing was not being used in Nigeria. That's why you are now seeing yourself in the developed countries and very difficult to use the gadget which are supposed to have not operate. So that's the digital variant. In developed countries or the Western world, we use smartboard as far back as the late 20th century. And smartboard was being used in America as far back as the late 20th century in all classrooms, primary, secondary, tertiary. So the smartboard is an innovative way to enhance our teaching and learning in a way through which you can display some tasks, you can share messages, you can present information, you can present activities, you can engage with students for them to brainstorm. In fact, as a lecturer or as a teacher, when you use smartboard to teach, you do lecture and it's always paperless. So that makes the lesson very interesting. For every lesson that we are teaching, the teacher is supposed to make the lesson very interesting, which is the use of smartphone for teaching and learning. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I want to say that as of now, some few months ago, I went to ask some schools in Nigeria, and this is now the state of our smartboard in Nigeria. You will see that the smartboard, people have started using permanent marker to be writing on it, as if they are writing on the normal board. And this type of marker, they are permanent and therefore you cannot erase it. And what must have been responsible for this in some universities? The very first one is that there is excessive power supply. When a teacher does PowerPoint slides of presentation and he does not have anything to project or power to power it, he becomes frustrated. And that is why in some cases you have a smart board in this kind of position in both classrooms in Nigeria. Secondly, is that some lecturers are not trained in the use of PowerPoint, in the use of smart board for instruction. When you are not trained, you find difficult to use that because training is key. You need to be trained to use smart board because it's a little technical to use it. So, the situation whereby the smart board is available, but the lecturer doesn't know how to operate it or how to use it, the power supply is not there, this is what we are going to have at the end of the day. And this is a common thing in most Nigerian classes. Let's look at teaching learning methods and environments in digital guidance. In the Western world, lecturing is not the only way of imparting knowledge. We have tutorials, practical work, seminars, lectures, and direct instruction. With reference to tutorials, only a limited number of students are gathered together for lecture delivery. Practical work is not expected to job. Seminars are conducted on regular basis, and also they have direct instruction. In teaching, a teacher is expected to produce a quality PowerPoint information. In other words, when you are preparing your lectures, you are supposed to take care of all the others of students in your classroom. You have some students who learn mostly through audio. That's why they listen to it, get better. There are some that the practical can expect students. And then we have those who like to just watch. So, as a teacher, when preparing your class, you take care for all the various kinds of classes. That apart, the lesson was interactive. In a particular setting where the lesson was interactive, students will tend to come forward. Some of them will start speaking, some will start snoring, some will start playing with their mobile phone, and so on and so forth. So, teaching is supposed to be interactive and supposed to make them to have critical thinking. In Nigeria or parts of Africa, we don't develop our lecture in such a way, and this was affecting the quality of our students. What we do mostly in Nigeria is what we call code learning or memorization. Just take notes, grab it from the head, and then you are going to go. As teachers, at the moment there are so many digital learning programs that we go to give. Zoom is a very common one. Google Meet, Google thing to mention for the field. But there are some challenges when it comes to digital platforms in Nigeria. During the COVID-19, some of my colleagues who are still in private schools decided to apply digital learning instruction. But I need to say that before COVID-19, most schools were not using digital devices for teaching and learning. This was the fact of doing for it. But then when there was COVID-19, students had to stay at home and lectures was continuing. From the research that I conducted with my team, as far as when this one was when we discussed with the students, most of them did not welcome the idea of using Zoom. Let me give the students again. They had very funny question. Sir, who's going to buy data for us? They also have another question. What if never takes away that? Sir, some of us are using all these small phones. We don't have smartphones to use. Sir, there's a lack of internet connectivity in my area. In my area, we have to climb the mountain to go and see the network. Also, complete excuses. We now told them there's a need for us to adopt this particular method during this period that we are in here. Because lectures need to continue, but we must not say because there's COVID-19, we abandon lectures. But these are some of the excuses that we were giving for using Zoom or for using internet. At the end of that particular research, we found that students were not interested in learning those devices because of what the complaints have already mentioned earlier. So when the students return back, the lecturers told them how to repeat the same topic again all over. So it was just like wasting almost a year going through teacher and learning with them through Zoom. And let me tell something as well, when we are using online teaching construction. If you tell them to just be listening, for information of them will just put their data on the key, but some of them are busy cooking, some are busy speaking, some are busy doing some other things because they will not participate. That's why when we are doing something online, when we are doing the short devices, we must make it interactive. So we must be sure that the students are on video, see their faces. If not, some of them will just put it on and do something they can do. And that's why I tell them first. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I want to say this way that when I got to UK in 2010, this time around, I had to conduct a research on digital challenges facing international students. This national I'm talking about, they are the students who came from developing countries to UK to study for the first time. They came from UK to study for the very first time. And in that particular research, myself and my team, we worked on such challenges facing international students in the United Kingdom. We used just one university for that work, and the university is based in Yorkshire. From the discussion and from the research, we discovered that students from developing countries who came to UK to study for the very first time, and their first of study, they always face a lot of challenges as it relates to the learning and other things. The very first challenge that they do face is that they are not to the virtual learning environment. In the Western countries, when they want to give assignments, they give an assignment online using the VLE platform. When you want to do assignment, VLE platform. So much interaction are coming up in the VLE platform, which they are not used to in their countries. Secondly, when they want to submit assignments, the assignments are also subjected to plagiarism check. There was a study I carried out with my team, that was in 2008, and then that was first point in Nigeria, and then also did the same thing in UK some years later. We discovered that students in Nigeria, when they submit assignments, more than 80% of that work is plagiarized. So, and that's one of the problems they are facing, the classes are facing. Because they are used to this idea of copy and paste. You copy a work, just paste and submit. Another challenge that these classes are facing, those who came from Africa, from Asia, some parts of Asia, they are having one of completing their assignments on the system and they become frustrated. They have low esteem and become aggressive as a result of this. In assignment submission, there is digital divide. When submitting assignment, everything is supposed to be through the VN, University Portal. That's where you submit the assignment. So they are not really computer-literate. You will find people called submitting assignments. And when you are submitting assignment, the assignment is programmed such a way that I think the assignment is submitted 11:59 on 29th September. The moment it is 11:29 September and you are not uploaded your assignment, everything goes in. Unlike in developing countries, students will assignment like this, sir, take paper, they give us paper. And because of giving you paper where they upload the assignment, chances are very high that we lose those papers. At times of them give me the assignment of no, sir, please I didn't submit my assignment last week. Please take it, I'll take it. And on when they are going to this office, mistakenly I put on the office, by the time I'm leaving, I will have forgotten the assignment there. And at the end of the day, still may try to report them, having an accurate assessment. But when the assignment is submitted through the portal, the assignment is there and on the graded latest 2 weeks of submission. So, with that, it is impossible for a student to say, I have not got your assignment. And feedback is also that part of the digital reality. There must be feedback on assignment when it's submitted. Here in Africa, as a part of the very country, some teachers don't give feedback to their students for performance. Students have the right to challenge the grade and do not say. Students have the right to say, sir, this thing that says what they are research. But because they don't have access to their assignment, some of them, they don't know, actually know their performance. There are some teachers in attendance. When I was master of data, I teach a faculty of social technology. And students remember that time they were about 300. I was finding very difficult to really monitor the attendance. Because by the time I start calling Jumoke, so, Femi Johnson, 25 is already gone, after 2 hours of breakfast. And that's affecting the quality of the competition. So, and we say that attendance is compulsory. If you tell them, students, take a paper, write your name, pass to your colleagues to write his or her own name. You may find other students in the class, but when they are giving you the list, you will see one person name there. You ask who added the other names, everybody will keep quiet. That's part of what that in the advanced countries, when you have a large number of them, you can just use your thumb to sign in and it's registered. And on most occasions, the moment you come in, your attendance will take it automatically digitally and it affects the way attendance is being monitored. You don't take attendance manually. So I think it's high time that we also in developing countries first I don't take attendance manually because it has not been really productive, especially when I teach a very large class. You are teaching about 1,000 students now, as an example. How do I take attendance manually? And the universities and the assessment was means 70 attendance. So when I have all that students in class and they must meet the criteria for the attendance, how do I start calling 1,000 names in each one's lecture? That's why it's need for us to move from manual way of having lectures and attendance to digital. Quality assurance. Quality assurance is key. Quality assurance is key. And with reference to Nigeria, the NEC goes around most times to ensure quality assurance. Although some faculties, departments, and universities have their own quality assurance units. With reference to quality assurance in developed countries, the teaching staff must be highly qualified. All my employees, you must be adequately qualified. In other words, you must meet the actual standard, meet all the criteria for appointment. Also, in teaching method, you must be able to advance your method such a way that you vary your method. You just don't come and use only one method. You are supposed to use variety of methods in delivering your message. That's why you can use online teaching or blended method of teaching to conduct your message. Then there must be what called learn of student practice system. In the learn of student practice system, what they do there is that they ensure that teachers meet some criteria. They will look at how you teach in class, your performance in terms of communicating with students. They will look at how you utilize the guidance for instruction to make your lesson very important. And if you don't meet the criteria, they will give that lecturer the opportunity to improve. So what of send the person for training? If you are sent for training and there's no improvement, they will still advise to go for a training the second time. After a long time, you cannot go to strategy and be advanced to find your way. A lot of lecturers have found their way out after the third attempt. But here in Nigeria, for Africa, you see us saying, no, I cannot go away. I'll look for somebody who will make an appointment here to go and get this from Nigeria. Now, to divine reality, there are some things we need to look at sort of divine reality. The first one is resources. The first prophetic belief. Resources is very key to prophetic belief. You go to the advanced countries, they have all the resources in place. All the resources are in place for them. And that's why when people want to go to school in the advanced countries, they are always eager to go to the class. The anxiety is there. They are very anxious to go to school because they are already there. You see some of our students, when they want to go to school here, the boys in particular, you see them carrying only their mobile phones and maybe a size book of 200 naira. They fold like this in their pocket and start going to school. What have they done? What have they done to them? Nothing much. And unfortunately, because they are not available to really help them out. Then the other one is the engagement. The engagement. You look at all those ones down, and then outcomes. You look at that down as well, and then the government. You look at all these ones very soon. Now this is the resources now. Extra resources in the university. In all books must be available for you to deliver. The resources are not only supposed to be physical, they are also supposed to be virtual as well. Then you have all these as part of the resources expected to be used. So now in case of engagement, look at specific direction. The NBC has already told us what the direction is supposed to be. But what we are doing is that most universities are not complying with this NBC student direction. And that's why we have to ask every year, clamoring for EAA, and academic allowance. If we are actually following the direction, they are going to have a management class for all to deal with. And as a result of that, we will to have effective teaching. Here is the enrollment in the Western world university. This is an example of what happened in UK. If you look at this, the student population in UK as at 2013 was 495,000 students. Up to 2020, 2.3, 679,970. These are the number of students that are traveling from various parts of the world, particularly developing countries, to go and study in UK. What must have affected this number? What must have affected this number is that the facilities are in place. The resources are in place. Everyone is working by this much. As soon as people are moving from here to go and learn. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I would say that when I got to university in 2014, we had some students from outside Nigeria coming to study here. I think at that time we had some Indians and possibly people from Ghana studying in this particular university. But in the last 4 years, I've never seen anybody that is of different color in this university. Most of our friends, most of them are from North, and very few from Southwest and Southeast. Whereas in the university where we have enough resources, and you see people moving there to study. That's why at the moment you have USA, UK, Canada, New Zealand, and at the moment following Malaysia, United Arab Republic, following the number of nationals going there to study. Because the best idea and things are not perfectly working. In this particular slide, we see the student staff ratio. If you look at this particular slide, in a particular university, you have out of 3 students to, three staff to 1 student. 3 staff to 1 student. This is not the case in Africa. When you have 3 staff to 1 student, you see that that student is going to learn very well. Because the two of them, who happen to be the mentor, will be able to teach that student very well. They said that perform very excellent. And that's what we have in development. Even in Japan, 1.6 is the 1.6 students to a teacher or a staff. And this best staff ratio in university, I already said that, because by this. The Nigerian environment. So I already talked about it that in the last 2 decades, we were having some national schools. It's about Chancellor of that year 2019, we were having one institution in Nigeria. Out of these schools that we have in Nigeria, only 1,086 were foreigners. In the middle of Nigeria University, 1,056. Compared to UK, where we are having 407,000, just look at the imagine. And as at that period, we were having 0.29 in polytechnics and 0.04 in price education. That means that foreigners are not interested in post-graduate education. Also, foreigners are not interested in coming back to polytechnics. And those that actually are trying to come to the United Land are 1,060 in all. And that is affecting our economy and our learning as well. Let's look at staff. A university is supposed to entice staff from various points. In this university, as an example, we have some people who are non-Nigerians teaching here. A university is supposed to have people from various parts of the world coming to teach. This is because it's part of what they normally use for university therapy. In the whole of Nigeria, there are 474 academic staff out of top 6,604. And those that are academic staff, they are 0.008%. That's in the university. And 1.64 in polytechnics, and 0.18 for education. To show that people are not willing to come here. Why are you not willing to come here to come and teach? Number one, a lecturer is used to using technology to teach in maybe in US, now come to Nigeria to come and grant me permanent mark. You come frustrated because it's not just that. Even students are not coming here to also that because some students are not used to writing assignments on a sheet of paper or typing something and be looking for a lecturer about the direction with an understanding. The first to use the PLP to submit that. So all those ones are not attracting students and staff to come and study in Nigeria university. What is the state of our classroom in Nigeria? This is how they are adopting technology in teaching in Western world Ethiopia. If you look at this screen, you will see that we have a large class, but we were able to utilize technology devices very well. You see the very big screen, projectors all around, and we are finding the lesson very interesting. This is what happened in the Western world environment. But let's look at the Nigerian case. Look at the students. So many of them, some of them are even tired and very unhappy because of the environment. And in most situations, when you have a teacher teaching a large class in Nigerian classroom, what you do most is just to use the public address system to teach them. And when you use public address to teach them, at times the public address system develops when you finish the class. On some occasions, I got to the class here in Nigeria. Before I finish my 2 hour lecture, the battery of the microphone would have been up or packed up. I would now be forced to be shouting for some of them to work at which very frustrating. So this is how of teaching that class is of the classroom. Also, let's look at assessment now. In assessment, we see here, especially in Nigeria, look at the number of writing tests. We have only one or two papers assessing all those class numbers. And that's why in Nigeria, when we do assessment, we are not assessing to really help the students, we always assess to catch people that will cheat. Before I stay in UK, we never had any case of examination misconduct. This is because what you want to cheat for? You don't need to cheat. This is number one. There are so many people watching you. Then secondly, the questions are practical in nature. So it's not the case of that very question. I think just memorize and then belong to copy. No. So they are not interested in cheating. So with this now, you will see that it will encourage cheating because The number of invigilators, they are far, far below the council expected for those that assess. Also, some universities, they will say, ratio of lecturer, of invigilator to student 1 to 50. But some cases, we have 1 to 100, 1 to 150. Still on inflation, in some developed countries, what you can create in hospitality. Because for that classes, they use CBT. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I want to put that our GSP course, please, and from their session, let us adopt CBT. Those that are managing the GSP classes, okay, I was director before, we are not finding it easy managing the students during the exams because it is very expensive producing maybe 2,000 copies of papers. From CBT, you can have people back on their computer, you can allow them to sit in back and all the regulated before so the need for a CBT to be adopted for conducting exams in most classes in Nigeria schools. Secondly, there's a need to use CCTV camera installed in the examination. When we have camera examinations, you don't need to have maybe 4 or 5 invigilators. Only one network is okay for the invigilation. The lecturer does it, be watching the screen, and then to the defender that you are being watched, you will not be able to tell the teachers. So that's why we need that device, we need that facilities for our invigilation. Then we can also use what called door flow method detectors. When the process is going, then we can also use method detectors. Then post-clear jammer is also very important when we are invigilating. Plagiarism. This plagiarism is a very main issue in academics. A lot of staff have done their job due to plagiarism. A lot of students have been suspended due to plagiarism. With reference to developing countries, we are supposed to be using plagiarism detection software to check for plagiarized work. The most common one is Solidity. In 2010, myself and my team, we conducted a research of plagiarism detection software. We gave them assignments. After doing them assignments, although what I was teaching them was the teaching in lifelong learning sector. My students were actually those that were from Africa. Most of them were just in Africa. But when they can teach in UK, we have to train them to teach in the UK way. So they are supposed to come for the 1-year program, which is something like PGD, for them to be able to know how to teach in UK. When they came, we told them from those concerning the system. We are going here that here, you have to make the work creative and innovative. Don't go and do copy and paste or go and do something assignment. In the study that we conducted, I think about 20 years before, there was a case of some students, after doing the assignment, we subjected assignment quality, and for 4 students discovered that the students had plagiarized another person's work that was submitted for 4 years ago, and we were shocked. And quality will tell the source of information and when that work is taken from. So, this quality as a software detected where that work was plagiarized from. For the one teacher at the moment, we notice that when you give them assignments here now, you only that change just the registration number and the name. All of these are the same. All of them training, you give them assignment, all these are the same, except the registration number and the name. And that's why some of us became discouraged for doing this assignment. But we can do some, and that's one options that make people assignments more valuable. This is the generalization. I want to say that some of these vaccines in Nigeria show that we are not yet digital. Application letters for job issues. Then also for admission process. In some cases, we don't use vaccine environment for admission process. For record keeping, up to now is on faculties, students are still carrying facts. And when there's no adequate record, information may get lost. There was somebody was telling me that people from ministries now, this one that minister of work, and if you are not trying to teach the class, he will tell you, Mr. Badamosi, so I will find the fact. But by the time you say, okay, I like you, don't worry, this 2,000 I think you need to buy pure water. Within 10 minutes, your file will come out. This is because the record keeping has not been properly documented. If the record is online or is within a particular system, there's no somebody to say, I'm keeping your file, but don't keep it. So we need to do that as well. Then, also in administration, we need a system whereby select and register fees online. There was a study I conducted with my team in 2008 about cognition. The title of that was Cognition and Emotion and Possessions. Experience that during the registration. That was at 2008, like I said. During that time, students were telling us from the result that they are very difficult to register online. This is because by the time you get to the cafe, number one, the cell will refuse to put. Number two, instead of start booking, it will start dancing on the spot. After 5 minutes, never will take away that. You have to start all of it. And in some cases, when they are about to upload an important information, the information will not go. Or when you want to download, the download at times take almost 10 minutes. All those things are frustrating. They are very, very frustrating. So we need to improve on our application of devices in general administration. Even when it comes to clear evidence of transition, when there's call for clear evidence of transition, they are supposed to be carrying forward from the physical department to works, to department, to the registry, to get clear. They're supposed to always work online. And same cycle of that. When there's certificates are ready, let them collect certificates online. Don't let them risk coming to Nigeria or coming to Canada or President. All these are supposed to be done online. So we can do that right and take development. Number one, we can adopt verbal networks, which is very key to win the right. Then we can collaborate with philanthropy partners that are rich. Let them subsidize most of the things that are making life difficult for people to come here in terms of adoption of online. Then they need to reduce the personalized services to make it available to grow. As I said 15, if you go to Finland, people don't buy data. They don't buy data. What they buy is food. They buy food because data is good for everybody. But here in Nigeria, you have to stop to buy data. So we should be looking towards having data food for all lands. And then let them now look for how to get a higher speed to pay for. So what's the impact of that development on the system? Number one, the first slide, attend the economy. Without digital improvement, our economy cannot progress. And that's why we need to ensure that we also part of the rest of the world. In addition, digital device penetration is important so that we can move to the rest of the world. What we are still doing here, we are still behind. They have to catch up with the rest of the world. If you don't catch up with the rest of the world, by the time you are pushing one thing, that's why we are standing at home. And that is affecting us as well. So we need to build the digital divide so that we will solve some of these problems in society. Mr. Vice Chancellor, at this moment, I want to look at some of the social problems of digital divide. The very first point is that great social dilemma. Social dilemma. In digital divide, when the answer is not good for them, it makes you become not great to one. Let me give us a true life story. When I was young, in the right way I live, there are some students, they normally want them to go to school the way they are still on school. The father will carry the mother and back and start dragging the boy to school. Why is dragging the boy to school? Because the boy is going to keep on reciting what they have learned throughout the day. It's from some of this kind of schools. What they learn is Ahaja, Ibata, for almost 1 month. So they have not been to school. In addition, when you have something like this, students are not really gaining anything. When a state knows that it's going to be a place to go and learn with different types of devices, we'll be willing to go to the school and go and learn. In conclusion, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I want to say that there is a strong link between the level of technology application to instruction and student interest toward learning. There's a link between the two. And then I believe that nobody is mentally unstable. or job into the appropriate training environment. Recommendations. Number one, you must be ready for the month end as an institution. Then we to continue our CPC, continue capacity building, our academic staff and academic staff. Then our institution should serve the fully compliant. Competence test in computer skills as a representative verification and this because in some cases students like because to cope when they go to postgraduate schools in other parts of the world. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I want to first of all thank Almighty God, my Creator, my Alpha and Omega, for making it possible for me to take the university. It is by God's will that I happen to attain the peak of my career. I give glory to Him. His name is good. I also want to thank Mr. Vice Chancellor and Chairman for your support. I've been here now for almost over 10 years. In fact, Vice Chancellor has given me support since well. I thank you, sir. Same with management as well. In addition, I want to appreciate my mentors, those who taught me in the university. I need to mention again Professor everybody who was my PhD supervisor. I need to mention Professor Dadi Baloko and other people. In addition, I need to also thank my colleagues over here. My colleagues in the University of Lagos and my colleagues also in the University. I must not forget to appreciate my staff or my colleagues in Faculty of Education. Most of them are so helpful when my faculty work as a team. I appreciate of you for your support and for your cooperation as well. This work that I've done, I need to say a very thank you to my innovators. Notably, Professor Larry, I know, Professor Ebo, Dr. Frank, as well as my wife, who is also part of the IFO as well, and some other who also supported me in the rest. Furthermore, I need to thank my professional colleagues whom we normally meet at conferences, Professor Lade Adeyanju, Professor Abbott, and other people that I need to mention. Also, I thank my previous friends and because in the past, and that are presently now, for always supporting and cooperating with me. And I thank my friends and I think that I must say that my friends who are here today, I appreciate them. I thank Professor Supa, who traveled away from no states to be here. Thank you so much, sir. I thank Professor Ibrahim from Ishola, thank you. From Sri Lanka University for also coming here all the way from Sri Lanka. I also appreciate Dr. Wahab from Kanure, as well as my in-law in Coast, Professor Janadi, also from Gawa. Thank you so much for coming here. I also need to appreciate some people as well. I thank this man of God. His name is late Professor, academics. Late Pastor Billy Adebude. He was my mentor, spiritual mentor, and I've done so much. In my life that I cannot forget him. So thank you so much. I must also appreciate my spiritual mentor that I have from Kano. I thank Pastor Mike. Thank you sir for coming. Pastor Adebayo. Thank you much for coming. I appreciate for God bless you. I also need to appreciate my parents. These are my parents. Although my father is dead, my mother is an elderly woman. So they are not able to come here. I appreciate them for giving me that, for giving me education as well. I also thank my siblings. I would like my siblings who are here to please stand up for recognition and appreciation. The lady on the left in a little bit later, that's my immediate senior sister. She's a director in the Federal of Education. She has been here to give me support, work on class with me, and she has been so caring and loving. Thank you so much. God bless you. I appreciate your coming. And also, this is my sister as well. She's the fifth born. Dr. Mrs. Pastor Renan. She came all the way from Port Harcourt to support me in this government lecture. God bless you. I must say that I have 7 siblings. I'm 6 siblings. I'm the first born. The second born is here. Our third born is on a very absent. The fourth born is in England. It did not come because of short notice, although it was in England. About a month ago for celebration. The fifth born is also not available. This is the sixth born. And the last one is also working towards getting there. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I need to appreciate my immediate family. Please, can I have permission for my wife to stand up for special recognition? Mr. Vice Chancellor, here is my beautiful wife, I used to say that my wife has been so impressive in my life. When I was going to UK in 2009, he said, Peter, you have done a lot of things that go to UK and accepted and took to your suggestion. That's why I found myself because I want to go to UK. I found myself here based on suggestion. When I told again in 2014, he said, Peter, come back to Nigeria, go to Kano. I said, that's why I'm here in Kano. As a friend of God, she was the one that said, it's now time to start writing your local document. So I thought that 2017, I complied. That was why 2017, I started writing the program based on advice. Then as of 2020, this paper was partially ready based on advice. So it's not a case of Adia media, it's the law and I respect. And that's my wife for taking all the suggestions and advice. So she has been so wonderful. Although she's not an academic, but most of these works that I did, we did together. On most occasions, go to America to for conferences, to present papers. She's a non-academic, but she has herself position to accredit. And most of the competitions are well done. Thank you so much. Mr. Vice Chancellor, my son will be in Kano now for some time. He just wants to come and see Kano environment. So we together for some months. It has been so wonderful. And we are going to thank you so much for understanding. My parents, my family is commended because I had to stay around. And I want to thank the past chancellors and also past chancellors. But this time, I'm in Kano, and there's nothing more to do. You say that go and meet your family in Lagos or wherever they are. And that was without a time for weeks or for months. I will stay with you. I appreciate you for what I've done. Ladies and gentlemen, at this period, I want to thank everybody for your support. I want to thank those that are joining us online for listening. I want to appreciate all those that are also there physically. Please, I'm very sorry to have not mentioned some names because it's not going to mention anybody here in their time. But I'm not for coming. God bless you all. For those that are joining us online, I say thank you as well. God bless you. I think my head told me. Okay, my head told me. Muna Nari. We are together. So that's not going to see myself and I said, Muna Nari. That's what I'm saying. Thank you so much for how you are supporting me in this academic career. My dean in absentia, the deputy, my dean is so supportive. I appreciate you for that. And finally, my second and time professor, Adiza, dean of the transport. Thank you all for coming out. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Peter. Thank you so much, Professor Pisa, for wonderfully cutting your own presentation. Anyone that has shoot up the theme of your presentation. We are just putting on our agenda before the Board of Thanks, which will be delivered by the Health Department of Curriculum and Instructions. We have a plaque, which means a plaque to be presented to the Professor Peter for his successful delivery of an inaugural lecture. In doing so, I would like to invite the Vice Chancellor of University of Kano, Professor Amutu Kurot. Please come forward and present the award to him. As well as I would like to, with the program of the Vice Chancellor, to invite the wife of the inaugurate, Mrs. Adelabe, to please come forward also to help receive the award, together with Mrs. Adekite Fumila. Thank you. Counselor, Northwest University, Kano, for presenting the award to the honorable members of this family. The next item on the agenda is the vote of hands, which will be delivered by the Head Department of Curriculum Instructions, Dr. Samira Abdullah Bello, with the permission of the Chairman of the Education. I would like to invite Dr. Samira Abdullah Bello to please come forward for the vote of hands.
Distinguished Vice Chancellor, Chairman, and members of the Inaugural Lecture Committee, Deputy Vice Chancellor in absentia, University Registrar in absentia for national assignment, the principal officers, the professors, dean of the first faculty, the deans, directors, head of departments, dedicated members of the Department of Curriculum and Instruction, members of the university community, the invited guests, online participants from Nigeria and abroad, the press, students of Northwest University Kano, and the rest supportive staff. I am deeply delighted to extend my vote of thanks to a team of erudite scholars of such caliber. The Vice Chancellor of our rapidly and positively growing university, Professor Mutaka, deserves special commendation for serious efforts in raising the issues of the land. This is conspicuously manifested in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction, where there is successful inaugural lecture has been conducted. So I want to acknowledge that the tremendous success of the organization, academic shape, is made possible by the solid support of the Vice Chancellor, the Registrar, the Dean, and all other principal officers of our great university. So the members of the inaugural lecture committee and the resident staff of our faculty and department equally deserve commendation for their hard work and steady performance, which has brought this faculty and department to where we are today. So we took the second step in presenting an inaugural lecture and the awarding for the third very soon program. May Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring more success to the governing council of the university, the Senate, the Faculty of Education, and indeed our growing Department of Education. So congratulations once again to the presenter and his family. And I wish you all a safe journey to your respective destinations. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, the Head Department of Curriculum and Instructions, Northwest University Kano, Dr. Samira Abdullah Bello for delivering the vote of hands. Dear Chancellor, we have come to the end of this great gathering. With your permission, I would like to invite Dr. Saeed Imam, former Head Department of Arabic Studies, Northwest University Kano, to close this gathering with a prayer, after which the national anthem as well as the university anthem will be taken. Thank you so much.
ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you so much. We are pleased and for the university as well as the national anthem. The university anthem first.
With dedication, education,
party anthem. Please, we should remain seated till the procession leg is gathering, and we are to have a group photograph outside the auditorium, please. Thank you so much. Yeah, we should remain standing, please. Till the procession leg is on. Thank you so much. In reverse order, the session should be in reverse order.
Tunda muna karɓar kuɗi ya ba mu garba damuwa ya yi wala damuwa ana biya ba matsala inda dai muna son kuɗi mu ana ba mu za a yi shi
ok tana silent ne ba ok abun waye amma gaskiya ta gaya mu